Let me just finish things. Posting. Posting. Posting? P p p okay, posted. Uh, Number 5 is alive. Oh yeah. Oh no. Delay. Okay, posted. Yay. Number 5 is alive. Audio check good. Is good. Tonight I do things. I have been sick. I did my finals. I've been very tired and sleeping. I have a terrible neighbor who makes the hallway of my apartment building very, very smoky, and that makes me sick. On top of being sick, on top of being overworked. So I am not here, and the things I wanted to do are not happening because I am just too tired. But I'm still doing something. I'm not talking. There we go. Now I'm talking. Matching. Yes. That's only walking because it's there. But that's fine. Um, Let me just. What we need is notepad. Yeah. Okay. This isn't cute enough. I'm gonna tone everyone's screens bright pink and make everyone question their sexualities. Hello, kitty. Yes. Flashbang. Oh, I didn't do it right. That one's probably too bright anyway. But I do have the Hello Kitty setting. Unlegible. We can't read this. It's very hard. So I might just go back. Vim dark blue. Stick with that one. Okay. Dating simulator. Let me remember what I do. We don't need that. That's running that. That's running that. This is that. That's that. Okay. What we can do, I can run through this one this way. Downloads or document desktop dating sim project. What we got going, as I was posting on Twitter I want to make a dating dating simulator over the holidays because I thought that'd be super simple and easy and well, it started out easy enough. A very basic script turned into a massive layout to the side here. What I thought I could handle with one little piece of code, turned in like 7. And I learned the importance of a underline init underline .py file is the fact that an init file uh, clarifies that you are looking at a package, and a package holds functions, callable functions, that go outside of the usual parameter of the usual up and down of your standard code tree. And if that don't make sense to you, that's okay. It just means I learned how to actually do things correctly in in a manner where I'm not boxed in and I have more ability to do things, but also I have to like send things back now. It's it complicated things, but also made things possible by making things easier uh, and removing limitations. Um, but basically, first off, we got our debugger. Debugger is a basic bat file, which is a window file, which is basically just a renamed text that says we got the it's calling itself the project debugger. We got a color code. We got echo off, meaning it's not no repeat. Then we call the dating sim, which is a .py, which is Python file. We're gonna later, once it's finished, we're gonna rename it to a .pyw, which is a Python for Windows file, which will basically be the Python equivalent of an exe, but it's not. Um, then we get the pause and exit, yada yada yada. Anyway, this is all just basic programming. Very simple stuff. Super duper simple stuff. That for some reason took me like 5 years to understand how it even worked or how to even do it. So I try. Now, if we go to that's our debugger. We go into the dating academy.py, which is our main program folder. We have, and if I'm very quiet tonight, it's one, my throat hurts, and two, I am streaming in the bedroom above my neighbors, where I usually get done streaming by 9 o'clock. So, and it's like almost 10 now, so I'm being quiet. But what we got here is just some basic variables. Okay, what we got is in this file, we will need every single thing that we will ever need for our code to run. Because this is the main, everything runs through main. This is like the central, like, intersection of our town. Or like, this is like the main intersection where everything goes through. Central processing, basically. Um, and what we got here is we have some basic, we call the operating system. We import operating system functions. We import system. We import the game code package, which is what I'm calling our package, which is here. If we take a look here, we have debugger. We are inside the Dating Academy folder. We get our debugger, which will eventually be absolutely useless, and we can delete it in the end. Then we'll have the dating applications PYW, which is basically going to be an exe file, which is also the main for Python, which will be our main for the Python file. And I have two folders here: game data, game code package. Game code package is where I'm putting my modules. Modules and packages is very confusing stuff, but basically the package is going to hold all of our other code chunks of code as callable functions. So here we got all of our callable modules with callable, askable functions. And here's the init.py, which we're gonna get into. This is cache, which is just like it's ran the code, and it's like this is the code that walks. This has been converted into a bit file state thing that runs. So the cache is like this is what walked, and this is what we've done for some reason. Game data. Game data, we have our icon for our window. because this is just how I want to lay it out. This is just how I'm laying it out. Everything here is not laid out it's based on structure that I've seen in the past and that's how I want to structure it because this is just what I'm doing because this is all based on what I want to do. Eventually I want to add a sound folder. We got images. We have the main menu background. Here we go. Uh-huh. It's not quite finished. I want to put a little more detail onto the brick. And then we got the main menu foreground, which is like the image that goes over. Oop, I dropped my pen. The image that goes over my main menu. So that'll go over the main menu. And I'll probably be using the foreground in the future as a place to put the characters. Maybe, I don't know. I'm doodling like the bedroom scene, which I gotta do 2 variations. I'm just still kind of doodling that. I'm taking way too long on it. But yeah, main menu, overlay. I want to actually like write the name Dating Academy like really cute font. But I don't know when we're gonna get to that. This is probably never gonna get finished, but I want to at least get it to where it sort of walks. Anyway, bedroom, and then I gotta do more stuff for the school, make it look cute. Anyway, that's our images. In our game data, we got our game package like I was showing off. Let's get back to the code. Anyway, so our main dating academy.py is running through, we basically create a window. Here's our main class, main window UI. I don't even know how we're going to call. I'm trying to figure out how to call it from where I'm outside of it to go back and redo it. But I think what I have to do is actually set up a running dot, a running bool. So I want to do that now actually. Okay, that works. And okay, so what we're gonna do with that is I gotta do some research really quick. Um, what I want to do with that is okay. What I want to do with this is I want to do a while running loop for Python, which I do not understand this at all. It's like I don't know, man. I'd never get any good examples for a running loop or a while loop. I keep being told you need to download Pygame, latest and greatest in Pygame. The Pygame. You're using you're using PYQT5. You should be on PYQT6. Oh, that's so 2003. It's like, and while you're at it, you might as well flip over to Pi, whatever the cute Pi, whatever. I don't know. I don't, I don't know. Programmers are like, use the latest thingy. The latest thingy. No one has any tutorials on it, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing with it. I suck at programming, but I still do it just because it's like a puzzle and it gets my brain running. And for some reason, I am not getting a window open. Okay, while loop or for loop? While loop is what I want to do. Okay, here we go. I got an example from W3 school. So what I want to, oh no, this is the same thing. Hmm. Why one? I don't understand. You don't seem to understand. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. While running equal true. While running equal true. Um. Well, Rolf. That didn't work right. Okay, whatever. I just want to test something. Yeah. It no like. Um. eh, Mm, oh. Ah. Bah. Bah. Yeah. Oh. No. Okay. See, it's just. See right there. It's like it's going insane. Yep. It's just printing. Okay, so that's good. So that means it is running. Okay. Um. So the way I want to do this is I want to like I'll have another piece of code tell it to quit running or to run once I go through all my other sequences. Um, Running equal one only one equal false. Yes. Okay. And then we want everything that we ever want to do in between. Um, and the reason I'm doing this is because there needs to be a game loop because there isn't a game loop. I need to figure out how to re-implement a game loop somehow. And I'm not sure if this is the best place for the game loop. It should be since it's the main file. This should run the game loop. And all data should run through here. Right now, the system structure is a bit weird and wonky because I have other packets calling. I have packets calling packets, which we will now get into once I run a quick little test doodle. Okay, there we go. Yeah, here we go. Dating Academy, a generic dating sim. Dating Academy, a generic dating sim. Find romance today. Start, continue, quit. And guess what they do? Absolutely next to nothing. Except if we look here at our debugger. 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 Um, so what happened was, according to this, we used, going back to here, we have the main menu UI. First thing it does is window creation. And we do a print that says log, we are creating window, log creating window. So we do the Q application, which is Qt5 application main window. And through that, we also get Qt import icon. So we do main window application. We set the position, the window size, on both the X and Y axes. Then we set the window title name, which I have set, which the variable, window title name. Set window icon, Q icon, which is win icon, which win, up here, win icon. Anyway, all these variables are up here. Win position X, win position Y, win size X, win size Y, win name. All right, there we go. In a string variable, and win icon string variable of file location, which is game data /icons /icon.ico, which, as we see here, game data icons icon.ico. From this point here, because it's starting from this point, because this is its location. It's going through this system. Yes. Okay, but anyway, now the way I have it set up right now is very wonky. If we go back to this debugger, we've done scene, we did window creation. Then we have notice, accessed scene data, loading scene data, sublog for BG image, FG image, being background, foreground images, their positions, which I showed you. The background, which is the schoolhouse, the foreground, which is the little DA heart, sublog title, dating academy, that's a generic dating game, sim, sub, the story, find romance today, option 1, option 2, option 3, start game, continue, quit game. That is all loaded through a data file. And what I'm having trouble with is trying to flip through acts at the moment. If we keep going down here, I have it set to Act 1, meaning I want it to load the next one, but it's not loading the next one. So that's why I'm trying to install a while loop so I can go back and rerun code to do again with new data. But as it says here, input, clicked option 1, because I clicked option 1, clicked option 2, clicked option 3, in that order. It says input, clicked option 1, yada yada yada, current scene, yada yada. See, that it's not giving me a current scene, but it did give me the option 1 input of opt 1. And then when I did 2, it did opt 2, and when I did opt 3, it did opt, yeah. So that's kind of walking, and it's calling next. It's walking sort of, but it's not like the scene is not switching. For some weird reason, I can't get the scene to switch. And then I can't get the PyQt 5 to update. I'm trying to get it to update the data and reload the UI. I want to reload the GUI, the graphical user interface, and it is not it's not redoing. So that's my big issue at the moment. But yeah, that's what I'm walking through, and it's becoming a real pain in the butt. I may just end up finishing a drawing. I'm trying to work on character design on paper first because I'm trying to understand hair style. But also I got a lot of backgrounds I got to do. I got the hold on. If I go outside of the game and actually dating academy journals, look at this. Okay, I already got it laid out basically. It's gonna be I already got some ideas for sequels if I could ever finish the first one. That'll ever happen. Okay. Storyline is acts and stages, yada yada yada. You wake up, you go to school before classes. After morning classes, noon at lunch hour, you get to spend time with people. After lunch, before going back to class, and after the classes, and then in the evening, you have your endings of which who you end up choosing and who you end up going out with. Um, so all the scenes I need is the morning bedroom, the evening bedroom for a special ending. Um, I thought about other things like kitchen, uh, suburb walking to school, but I'm thinking I ain't gonna have time to draw all of those, and I'm having trouble getting in sub scenes. If I can't even get the scenes walking, I'm not gonna get sub scenes, and it's just gonna take so long to program. I may actually have to cut content and then have to do like a rebuild and extended version once I get better at programming. But right now, I just need to get a walking model going. So I'm probably gonna do the bedroom. You wake up, then you go to school. Bedroom's gonna be the intro. Then you go to school and you meet your friends. Yada 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 yada. Things happen. So let's see. This one is gonna have to be cut. Subbulb walking to school is gonna have to be cut. Those aren't gonna walk. Schoolgate morning, that one might walk. Schoolgate evening at before and after classes, those might walk. Classroom during the day, before and after lunch, then the hallway scene isn't gonna walk. Because that's gonna have to be, we're gonna have to do the lunchroom scene. Rooftop, then the classroom, and then these are these are dependent on who you choose option wise. So, mm, see, I don't want to get rid of those yet. What do I do? No, that's not cool. Um, hmm, those two, and then because of and I had like an idea of how much they love or hate you, but I don't know if that's. I don't think there's gonna be enough actions and interaction between characters for that to even be an option in the first run. So this whole thing may not even happen. That's just like extra variables. And I have like an idea for the characters. I want the childhood friend tomboy. The oh, there they are. They're there. The new student from another country, foreign exchange student, then the popular girl who's actually an old. Those are the characters that I want to create. And I've been thinking this is going to take place at like a community college. That way I can like make the characters like 19 and 20 instead of younger than that. Mm, we got the endings that I want to do. The true, there's the true ending, so I can make a sequel where you get friend zoned and everyone's happy and they just end up playing like Mario Party. Uh, then there's good ending one, tomboy childhood friend. You see her in the park or something. Then there's like the dinner date with the foreign exchange student, and then there's the popular girl invites you to smash on Nintendo 64, and then there's the bad ending where everyone hates you. They hate you. They hate. They, they, yeah. Okay. But anyway, those are what I'm going for. Uh-oh. What'd I do? No. Okay. But that's the idea with that. I'm going to close that out. We're going to go back into the programming. Programming. See, even though, let's see, even though I'm getting this to run, hold on. I have it set for, I technically have my monitor set funny at the moment because, how do I put, okay. Technically, I have a 19 by 1080, 19, I have a 1980 by 1080p monitor. But when I do streaming, I have my monitor virtualize itself as 720p. That way it is like actually, that way the software lines up with the streaming software. That way you get the best quality of seeing what I'm doing, and my screen's fuzzy. So my screen's a little fuzzy, but it's extended bigger than it should be. But you guys get perfect quality. Um, well, to center the application, which the application is going to run at 720p, at 1280, 720p, which is what we stream at. Uh, to center it in my screen, I had to do a little bit of calculations and move things around, but okay, now we can just run it now. Now I can run it and it'll pop up right in front of everyone. Yay! Just like that. It's actually a little not quite right size because of the top there. But anyway, yeah, these don't walk. Nothing walks. But that's okay. Even though it's not. Because what I need to do is I need to get this walking. And to get this walking, I know I need a while loop. Now, I want to go into why I need to deconstruct some things again. I've actually deconstructed the whole code once already. Going back into the game code package that I created. That's my package, is game code. Game code package is my game codes package, which is where I keep all my modules. So if we look at this, in the, look at this in Notepad++, because that's what I walk in, because I am a poor man and I can't afford the good stuff. Also, I don't like all the fancy bells and whistles of overpriced software either. So, now, if we look at this again, we created the window, we had the icon and the title, and that's it. But after that, we run the scene loader, which is scene loader.load scene data, back into main window, which is where we are. This is main window. Uh, so see, Q main window, main window, main win, Q main window, main win, is where our Qt information goes back to, for our graphical user interface. So we run into the scene loader. So we ask the scene loader to load scene data. We run the load scene data, and it's like, okay, you've accessed scene data, log loading scene data, and then it does if current scene is main menu, which I have set here, current scene to main menu. That way we have a start. Then it starts loading scene data. So this is the scene loader script. I have another script for scene data, which is right here. And within scene data is nothing but a file that contains information on main menu, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, 5, 6, 7. Each act will have the same amount of information. Files being BG for background, FG, foreground, title for what the title will say, sub for what the sub will say, story for what the story will say, and I think I want a dialogue one. I'm gonna have to add a dialogue um, for the characters. Though I'm not sure exactly how that's all gonna work yet, because I gotta figure out how it can only load it once and then speak for everybody, and then you make a decision. I've been very coffee and hacky wheezy and lots of phlegm. That one hurt my head. Okay. Um, but really, this is, if I want to be real about this code here, it's really just lined up like this. You know, it's like BG, then the data for BG, which is the string. Um, but anyway, the scene loader is going, okay, I need scene data being this module, and I want to pull main menu being this string, or this is a dictionary. This is a dictionary. Um, what it does, what this dictionary does is it holds a bunch of other information, um, which we tag the information. These are the tags of the information. Then this is the information itself. So it goes into scene data, and it asks for a main menu dictionary, and then it asks for the data tagged with BG. So we go into the scene data, main menu dictionary, BG tag. We get data, uh, game data / images / main menu dash bg.png being our file location and name of the background of the main menu. And we're basically pull all that information for all that information. Right here is calling all that information from that dictionary. I'm sure there's a cleaner way to do this, but this is just how I do it because I can understand it better, because higher level code halts my brain. I'm already staying up till 1:30 in the morning doing some of this. So, that's what's going on there. And we got it for all 7 acts. And then at the end of the code, because this is all one code, right? We do a if current scene is, which is a double equal. 1 equal sign is we're declaring this is that. 2 equal signs, 2 equal signs would be the same thing as an is, but I think an is dedicated to, I don't know if is dedicated to string or not, but it just looks neater. Though it does give me some errors on readability. It gives me some errors on it. So I've thought about switching it back, but people's like, no, you gotta be cool. You look like a noob, and you look stupid if you use a double equal sign. Use an is. That means you know the language better. And like, oh, you're a fucking nerd. I'd rather just use a double is and not get a bunch of freaking, it's like, you know how many freaking errors I get on a first run into the cache saying, "Oh, this might not be correct." And it was like, just to make it look cool. It's like, if you can't read a double equal sign, what the hell are you doing? It's like oh, but you don't know, it makes you look better for job resume. It makes you look cooler, like you can understand what you're doing. Like, I don't understand what I'm doing. And there's the old saying, keep it simple, stupid. Ugh. It's like, for readability, keep it simple, stupid. Like, people say this is more readable. No, if you actually understand programming, the double equal sign translates to, I think, more languages, because I'm used to it from a C# standpoint, I'm used to the double equal. Anyway, as I just stated, we went from Dating Academy through the scene loader, access scene data, pulled scene data, back to scene loader. Now the scene loader has the scene data. Now the scene loader has the scene data. So then the scene loader, first thing it does is it prints it as the sublog that we've pulled this data. That's for me to know, just so I can see it, see what we're doing, where we're at in the code running. But then we do GUI layout and scene selector, which you can't see because my big fat head is in the way. Yeah, ignore all that. Luke, father. Oh, I've already went through tea. Now it's time to start drinking soda pop and be up till 2 in the morning. I just slept from 5 p.m. to 8:30 at night. Where am I? What year is it? Anyway, we got the scene. Anyway, we do the GUI loadout or GUI by calling the GUI load GUI layout. Then we, hold on. Should we do the scene selector first? I don't know. Maybe that's where I'm goofing up. Anyway, we got the data. This data that we pulled back from the data folder. The data we pulled from the scene data is pushed into the GUI layout. The GUI layout, which, because all these packages, some of these packages require, I didn't show it in the scene loader, but it's there. Scene loader loads the import code data package, yada, yada, yada. These here are the 3 data packages, or the 3 modules. These are the 3 modules that the scene loader interacts with in the game code package that I created. But anyway, we're going from the scene loader into GUI layout. GUI layout uses the scene selector, scene loader, scene data, and input manager, which the input manager is, it just like, oh, you clicked this, and it's gonna like store information. Anyway, back to GUI. GUI has the Qt5, PyQt5, Qt Core, Qt GUI, Qt widgets, and this will actually send data back to WinMain. This sends data back to WinMain, which is our main folder here, because this is WinMain, this is the main window, this is the application, this is the GUI graphical user interface that we created at the very beginning that we're interacting with, and we are building a background, foreground, title text, subtext, story text, option button 1, option button 2, option button 3, and then we run a final load of all the data that we just have here. So what it does is, if we go back to scene loader, we do load GUI. To load GUI, which is the last option here, it says load GUI. It takes in the information that the scene loader sent us from the scene data. So all the information we pulled from the dictionary in the scene data goes through the scene loader, ships it over to the GUI layout, to the load GUI as variables, And then those variables that are lined up neatly in a row like a bunch of duckies, uh, they get pushed into these, call these codes. So what it does is then it does load background, and it loads the foreground, and the the order in which we call these functions, which are all right above this one, these functions have to be above this. This has to be the last function in the thing because it has to be able to know these. Because when code is loaded going down, and then when the code runs, you have to have it running where it goes upwards. That way, when it goes down, it's like, okay, here's all the important information. And it's like, then it's like, okay, now it's calling this information that we just read down here. So if I put it up here, it'd be like, if I put this at the bottom, or if I put this at the top of the screen, it would say, load all this information. Like, what information? We didn't read this information. This information doesn't exist because it's not above us. Therefore, we did not read it going downwards. Therefore, it must not just, it don't even exist. It's like, what are you talking about? You're delusional. But that's how that works. So that's why the load GUI has to be at the bottom. But it gets the data from, and then it pushes this data through these systems. So the BG image data gets pushed into load BG. So we go to load BG, and it takes in the WinMain BG image, and it does a Qt widget dot. It does a widget Q label. It sets the size, which I get variables up here, which I want to be able to adjust. I'm going to adjust these later with the layout data. I want to do a layout data so I can adjust sizes and locations. Because like I just showed with the main window, we can do title, we can do position. These positions are important for where things go. Let's see. If we look here, the background is position 0, 0. 0, 0 is from the top left corner is how it loads. So if we look here at the title, the position for title is 512 by 64. So if we run the code, we have 512 in, 64 down, and it's right there. There is our thingy. Or something like that. I don't know. I'm too tired. I'm getting tired again, and I'm about ready for a nap. We haven't even drawn anything. I'm gonna get to it though. Probably. Maybe. Anyway. So anyway, that's how that works. We got all this data that we pulled. Here's the strings, the option text string, the FGM string, and the BGM string, title text string. All the data's there. Here's data on text size, text font, text color. So if you see title text color, title text font, title text size, and subtitles for those two, what we can do is we go and down to title text. Title, here we go, title color, title text color, title text size, positions, title text font, title text size. We got font and size and color. So, but anyway, this loads the UI. Now, there's 3 types of UI. We get the labels. We get your standard label UI, which is actually used for images as well as text. So The false 2 UIs, the background and foreground, if we look at these, they are labels, basically. They are Q labels through Q widget, which is through the Q application window. Position, size is what we set them to. Then we set the Q pixel map being images to BMG img, which is our variable, and then the Q pixel map with that data is labeled. I labeled it pixmap BMG. That's my variable. That gets set as the pixmap of the label for BG, because this is what I called this label BG. So foreground is label FG, which gets the FG img pushed into the pixmap, and then the pixmap gets set. Then the label's pixmap gets set to the, with the size and the. Then we do the same thing with text, except it's a little different. We set the text to the text, which is the data. This is the data running through. As we can see, it's lighting up there. Then we do the color through style sheet. Then we do Qt core, Qt align as center to center the text in the box. Then we have size and font for the Q font, and we do that for all our font or all our text. Now we got the buttons, our beautiful, beautiful buttons. So it's like you've done background image, foreground image, text, text, text. Now we got the buttons, which don't really do anything. I just clicked number 2 like 3 times. Yep, see, I clicked number 2 3 times. Anyway, so what that does. Now, if we look at the buttons, we import the buttons the same way we do everything else. The import button text is a variable as option 1 text. We have our standard variables at the top for position, size on the X and the Y. X being from top. X is left to right, and Y is top to bottom. It's mathematical. And then we'll do the text color, we do text font, text size. And here's where a button differs, because this is the Q push button through main win. We're doing Q push button. Now, the way this changes from a label cannot really be interacted with, I don't think, in the same way as a button. With a button, we can do a .click connect. So .click connect. .click means if clicked. So if we click on it, then we do .connect, which .connect is a call function. So we clicked, we call function, and when we call function, what I'm doing is we're calling the input manager, which is another one of my modules. And we got for option 1, 2, and 3. So if we click the button, if we click button 1, we're gonna call input manager function clicked option 1. If we click option 2, we're gonna call input manager call option 2, call clicked option 2. Anyway, we're gonna go to input manager. Input manager has the strings for option 1, 2, and 3 as string data, which will be pushed into the scene loader, which we're going to go back to in a moment. See, this is where it starts turning into spaghetti. We're going from one thing to another to another to another module. The modules are all interconnected, and they can't be interconnected the way I'm doing it. they should all be going through main, I think, but I don't know if that's right. Um, because this goes back to scene selector. So what this does is clicked option 1, we print input clicked option 1, then it says picked option, we switched the picked option, which is this variable. We're going to turn that option into option 1, which really I could just like erase this and put it there, and I don't even need that there. That can just, I could do it this way. I could do it that way and save a line, but then it wouldn't be in my variables and I couldn't adjust it. Which, I mean, why would I really actually have to adjust this? Really, all I really need is this one. Um, because these are going to be like clarified in the other one anyway. I mean, that just like saves a few lines of code, which really isn't a big deal. Anyway, the picked option string is going to be pushed through into scene selector dot selection. Scene selector dot selection. Now, if current scene is main menu, if picked option is opt1, then we do print next scene, act 1 option 1 or whatever. That's just me telling me that this one was what was clicked in this thing. Sort of, in the most messiest way I could have explained that. That's where I want to go. It's like, if you click this, you go here. If you're in the main menu and you click option 1, the next scene is equal to act 1 based on option 1, which means I'd have to put like more scene data for option, which means I'd have to do act 1, opt 1, and then have to do like a act 1 opt 2 and so on and so forth. And that way you'd get options going into the next scene. That way the next scene would provide options. Or that way the next scene would like, it's like if we're in main and then we did like option 1, then we get this data, option 2, we get that data, option 3, we get this data. That might be a lot of inputting of data. Very confusing. But that is a thing. Where did this come from again? Where was we? We just went input manager back into scene selector, and then scene selector. Yeah, so this is where we select our scene, which means the current scene here would switch. But I don't want to have to, and this is the scene determinator. A real doofensmirt. What's his name? It's my dating simulator. Dating simulator. Simulator. Oh, god dang it. Why did that not work? My determined scenenator. No. I should have known that wasn't gonna walk. My joke didn't walk. Anyway, next scene. I forget what calls next scene, and then there's like selection with pick data. Wait, what? Okay, click to option 3 from the GUI, going into input manager. Input manager does selection. Oh, scene selector selection. Hold on. Scene selector selection. Scene selector selection. This is where the data gets pulled in. Option equal picked option. Print the picked option. This is where it'll print our picked option, which should say opt 1 or 2 or 3. So we are now at, so I click 2, opt 2, opt 2. We got the input, clicked option 2, opt 2 through the scene selector. Current scene is equal to, current scene has no data. Next scene is act 1 dash option 2. Because we clicked option 2, we'll load act 1 option 2. So this is how we will load the next scene. It'll be like, well, now the scene loader needs to load this scene with this data. This is the data that we're going to have to push into. Hold on. Go away. That's the data. This data of which, we're in main menu. We clicked option 2. We now have to go, I think, to scene loader and tell scene loader. I don't know. See, this is where it gets confusing. I either break the code and tell it to load Act 2 manually, Act 2 Option 1 manually, which means there needs to be more of these levels. There needs to be more levels now because there's 2 more of these. There's 2 more of those that need to go in for each and every one of these going forward, except Act 7, which will require 5. I gotta buy a whiteboard and just scribble out what the heck is going on. I gotta figure out the tree that I'm building, the dynamic tree of options because it's really out there at the moment. I don't know. But that's where I'm struggling at the moment is the clicked option goes into scene loader, tells it what our option was, then that with the next scene data from something. I can't even remember where that even comes from anymore. It gets pushed into, gets determined here, then eventually that has to go back into scene data and call the next scene because we clicked on something. But the way I have this laid out, that don't feel right because we're looping through the code. We're looping through modules instead of looping through. We're looping through modules instead of. My big fat head's been blocking the code the entire time. But we're looping through the module codes. We're looping through modules instead of going back to main. We're looping through modules instead of going back to the main data with the print. I just don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. No. No, 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 no. Hold think I got pneumonia. The pneumonia. Yeah. Hmm? Yeah. It's like we get all the way to where we have, when I click option 2, we have Act 1 option 2. And I don't like it having constantly having three options visible. I want to make it where the options aren't visible, but yet it's still there, but it's like blanked out or no background or zero. Transparent with no input data. I don't know. I'm gonna draw. Now, yeah. Okay. It's like, throw some Coltons. The perspective's a little off, but I do have references I'm using. So, it's like it's not completely terrible. Uh-oh. I can't draw like this. Oh, well, I'm just made doodle something. Oh, okay. Eh, what I want to do here, yeah, the sensitivity on the is way too high because I have two screens loaded. You know, and it's not the right size. Whoa, bro. Okay, there we go. So let's just. I'm gonna have to do this tomorrow morning. But I'm thinking like I'm gonna do a Colton. Gonna need a Colton rod here. Oh no. I'm gonna look at my Coltons for a second. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not basic. We need weighted. Like the Coltons are gonna be pulled back. They droop. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle. You know. And they like, yeah, yeah. Yeah, my sensitivity's all messed up because I have two monitors open and it's trying to like shoot across over there. But I want to put that there. Kind of want to put like a little shelf above the guy's head. Put a little shelf here. Because everyone needs a shelf full of books right above their head. Maybe that shelf should go here or something. Hmm. Hmm. Maybe there? You know, thinking of, I thought about putting a shelf or like a bookcase here. I need a line tool. That's not thick enough. Yeah. Perspective would dictate it would be like more like this. Actually, no. Probably more like that. Eh, let's make it shorter. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A bedroom. And the reason I want the bedroom scene is the the tomboy like childhood friend goal like she is gonna be like she's gonna be introduced because you're late to school, and then when you get to school, before classes you're introduced to the foreign exchange student, and then after classes you get into a issue with the popular girl who's also a node, and you find out she's a node, and then that way at the lunch break you get to choose, do you go with one, two, or three, uh, or all together into the lunchroom. And I want it to be like you either go to the lunchroom, which would mean I'd need a fourth option on the option ticker, and I want to line the options on the bottom half. I want to line the options on the bottom half of the screen, like down. To do that, I want to like line the options down here and have multiple layouts. That way I could do like one, two, three options, or I can do two larger options, or I can do like one, two, three, four options, but I'd have to do an option load. I'd have to do a GUI loader where I load, where I'd have to have all four options as options, but hide the options. That way they're there, and I just make them visible based on the GUI loader, based on the scene information. Hmm. But it's like, yeah, I got a lot to contemplate on this, but I got 20 days to like walk on this. So, oh man, all that's on one layer. I am burnt out. I've probably been streaming way too long. Anyway, you can kind of see where I'm going with my project, but not And I've done a lot of explaining of a lot of madness stuff that probably don't make no sense because my big fat head was in the way of the program windows, the programming, my programming windows. But yeah, I'm not. I don't know if I'm getting enough sleep, getting too much sleep. uh, my next door neighbor is affecting my health, and on top of just tiredness, I really want to get back into streaming the video games, but I am just not there right now. I am having one heck of a month. December is just December for me right now is just terrible. I mean, what the hell am I doing? I'm streaming at 11 o'clock at night. Yeah, I gotta shut up, my downstairs neighbors. Anyway, um, I'm gonna save some things and let you go. Thank you for watching, and I want to tell you all, yep, thank you for watching, and have a good day, and goodbye. 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 Yeah? Wait, what? No, wait, no, bye.